to another episode of The Experimental Homesteader. I'm Sheri Ann Richerson, your host, and today we're going to make rustic herbal crackers from the book Easy Homemade Crackers by Jim Long. And I have everything pre-measured here, which really helps when you're in the kitchen to have it ready to go, and that way you know you have all of your ingredients. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in 1.5 cups of flour. This is just plain white flour. Okay, I'm going to make sure we get it all out of there. And we are going to put in 1 cup of whole wheat flour. Again, we want to make sure we get it all in. And then we're going to put in 1/2 cup of yellow oat or cornmeal. And all of these items are readily available at your grocery store, or you can grind your own if you grow your own corn or your own wheat. And 1 cup of water. And I'm stirring this as I put it in here because this is going to turn into a dough. Okay. So now if you have a bread maker that has a dough cycle, you can do this on the dough cycle instead of doing it by hand. And it turns out just as well. So you don't really need to knead this, you just need to get the moisture going. Sometimes it's necessary to add a little extra water depending on where you're at, so I'm going to get a little more water. And you want to go slow when you're adding in extra water. You don't want to add in too much because you don't want to have to go back and do your other ingredients. And you also want to choose a bowl that's plenty big so you're not splashing the flour all over your cabinets or the floor or you. I've done that plenty of times. Okay, and when you have a dough that looks sort of like this, it's going to be ready to put out on the wax paper. And the purpose of the wax paper is you need to put some flour down, and this is going to save you a lot of cleanup time. I have a marble rolling pin, so I put the flour on the wax paper, and I'm just going to roll it like this, because this is also going to help get some flour on the rolling pin, which is going to help keep the crackers from sticking. Okay, and that doesn't quite suit me, so I'm going to get a little bit more flour. I also like to flour my hands. That keeps the dough from sticking to your hands. I'm just going to rub the flour over like this. And then, like I said, I'm going to roll this out again. And I'm going to dump my dough down here. Okay. Then I'm going to take it like this, just kind of press it together. I like to knead it just a bit to help it stick together. Sometimes it doesn't stick so well when it's in the bowl. Now if you use a bread machine, you won't have this problem. It'll already be done for you. But if you're doing it by hand, you're going to want to make a little ball like that. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to kind of pat it down. You want to work in small sections. Okay, so we're going to take a knife and we're going to divide this out. Okay. I'm cutting 4 across that way and 1 down the center here, which is going to give me 8 small sections to work with. Okay. These 2 are going to be really small. So I'm going to roll them into a ball like that. Roll them out. You want to get these really thin, okay? The thinner you get them, the crisper the cracker is going to be. So as you can see, this is sticking to my rolling pin. flour a little bit more. And when I'm satisfied that it's almost thin enough, I'm going to put my other ingredients on. This is a little bit of rosemary. Just want to sprinkle it on whatever I think. These are black sesame seeds. Again, just sprinkle it on like that. Okay. This is fresh ground pink peppercorns. I'm going to add a little bit of that. Okay. This is a combination of basil and thyme. So I want to sprinkle a little bit of that down like that. This is crushed Himalayan pink sea salt. A little bit of that. Again, any of this that you don't like or don't want to use, you don't have to. This is tarragon. If you're using fresh herbs out of your garden, you want to be sure to crush these. These are black poppy seeds. A little bit of those in. Okay, this is the thyme, so I did not have those combined. I thought I did. And this is dill weed. And this was kind of fresh, so when I chopped it up, it's wanting to stick together a little bit. That's okay too. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this one last roll to kind of press these herbs and spices into the dough. Like that. Okay. And this is kind of what it looks like right there. I don't know how well you can see that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my pre-greased pan, and I like this really big cookie sheet because you can do quite a bit on it. I'm going to move this over to the pan, and then I'm going to take a pizza cutter and I'm going to score this. And what you're going to end up with is some really nice bite-sized small crackers. Now you don't have to separate these when you bake them. You can leave them real close like this because as this dough bakes it's going to shrink a little bit anyway. So, and then I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to finish rolling out my dough. And then I'm going to bake it in an oven at 400 degrees that I'm going to preheat for about 5 minutes before I put them in. And bake them for 5 minutes. And I'm going to test one. And if they're not quite brown enough or crispy enough for you, then you can bake them a little bit longer. Every oven is going to be a little bit different. Every place you cook is going to be a little bit different. So, but they will be just like crackers from the store. You can put these in the freezer, in a freezer bag to keep them, or you can put them in an airtight jar and they will keep for several months. They are absolutely delicious, dipped in cheese or used in any other way that you would normally use crackers. And so that's it for today. And again, the recipe came from Easy Homemade Crackers Using Herbs by Jim Long. You can order this online from Jim's website. Just Google Jim Long and it will come up. And thank you.